Hello, good evening. Whoa, camera's a little crooked. Welcome, everyone. Corrie Thorne, spiritual teacher, psychic medium, Miss Modern Day Mystic, everything in between. Just coming in to do a quick energy update for the 29th of May. Just making sure I'm live. It says I am live on Facebook, so this is always broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, so that I fill in both. So I'm just trying to see if I'm actually on Facebook. Oh, there we go. Courageous night to come in with Alberta elections, but here we go. Hello, Gail. So I am on Facebook. I am on YouTube. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. I'm just going to wait for some people to come in. So, and tomorrow or the next couple days, maybe not tomorrow, I will have some upcoming classes and programs and possibly a full moon thing. I don't know yet, but I will have some new things coming up in the next few days. Hello, Lisa. So I'm just watching the numbers just to let a few people in, just let the energy in the room build up. This is going to be I know I say this every time, this is going to be a quicker live than normal, but I don't want to impede on everyone and the people in Alberta who want to watch the elections. So we're talking energy, and we do have my day is good, Gail. My day is good. I had to drive to Leduc and back, but my day is good. It's sunny, it's warm, it's a good day. So we did have a little bit of a lull in the energy, a little bit of like doom. It's like a little bit of a lower energy, but not a bad energy, just kind of like a slower moving energy that was happening. It felt like something was in slow motion, and we are feeling a lot of shifts. Of course, we are tonight. We do have a election in Alberta, so there is a provincial election that's happening here, which of course brings happiness and sadness and anger, and it drives emotions, of course, and everyone has an opinion, everyone has a view, everyone has what they think is best, and it's what's best for one is not always best for another. And so I always say I'm walking my middle road, and in my work, and it's always as is meant to be. Life turns out, the things that happen is as it's meant to be for the time that it's meant to be. So whatever is meant to be shall be tonight. But I want to talk more about energy. I want to talk more about what we got happening, and also to be able to give a few cards to go with this as well. So, and I am hearing from a lot of my people about who have been, just going through some challenging energies. Yesterday, we just finished the dragon. Just finished working on the dragon, the mystical realm, the dragon, teaching about the elements and the dragons. And so I just finished a 4-week journey through that. Those classes are always so much fun and so insightful. So many things come through teaching those. And you don't have to believe in dragons to enter into something like that. It is the ability to be able to expand our imagination, to be able to open up to broader perspectives. It helps us to be able to expand and grow. So let me start here. I want to start with an opening card for tonight. And I'm just trying to decide, where do I want to go? Amazing masterclass. Thanks, Lisa. It is a pretty amazing masterclass, wasn't it? I love the mystical realms. And if you're new to the Academy and you have recently signed up into the More Than Existing Academy, you literally can go back and take some of those master classes as well. And this weekend, Lisa, who you see on the banner across the bottom, she actually has a webinar. She has a human design webinar coming up that links, parents and children together. And so that's this coming weekend. I believe it is this coming weekend. That's also in the Academy. That's what's coming up this weekend. All right. So let's start out on some energy. Let's read some energy. Let's see what we have happening here. I'm going with the Everyday Goddess Oracles. And hello, Beth. And so I have the everyday miracle. She is. And so these kind of energies that we have happening right now, even though they seem like they can be like teeter tottering energies that is happening out in the universe, and there is a lot of teeter tottering energies, this is also the energy that brings in miracles. It is that brings in such big changes that we see things that could go totally sideways, not going sideways. We can see things that we thought were going to be like the worst case scenario, all of a sudden turned out not to be. Like there is just something that just shifts. And it's like, so some of the changes in the air and the energy is often that of like a teeter tottering. This card also is the She is the Everyday Miracle is the end of the deck. It is the last card in the deck. And I always say this, and I say this in my writings, it is written in my books. It's like who you are at the end of every difficult situation, the you that has to make the hard choices, do the tough things, those type of things that we have to do. That's where the miracle is. It is that ability, the once that you say yes or you say no, the once you make up your mind, you make a choice, it's the minute that change, that the energy shifts, that things start to change. As long as we're holding on, it's sometimes it's like hanging on to a sinking ship. The longer you hang on, often the more you'll be like just treading water, just treading water, and just like the ship will be sinking, and you're still trying to hold on and hold on and hold on. And sometimes if we just let go and let the weight of it go, let everything we're holding on to go, and just surrender it and set it free, then we float to the top, right? We rise up. And so there's a rise up. And so, holding on to desired outcomes, holding on to the way we think things were based on the past, holding on to all this old energy. When we truly can let something sink, let something go, let something be released or surrender it, whatever it is, and we just finally say no more or yes to self, whatever it may be, then that's where the miracle actually starts to begin. And even though it may not feel like a miracle, but the miracle is beginning because change is now in motion. Things start to happen because once you decide and you make that choice, then all these other factors start to factor in. Okay, now that I've made this choice, now that I've decided to move, now that I've decided to leave, now I have to find a place to live, now I have to do this, now I have to do that. So it keeps you moving, 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 moving. So it's always that movement. And so the everyday miracle is always the she is, right? And so it's the end of the deck, it's the ending. It is like it's that ending of when we're ready to go on that hero's journey type of thing. And then the zero would be the purity of the deck. And that is when we're ready to begin again. And purity is like the Fool card in Tarot. And so that is that we got everything we need. Now I'm going to embark upon a journey. So once we decide to do something new, then we have to embark upon the journey. And it's funny how when we have to embark upon a journey, we quickly run back to what once was. And I find this always so humorous of human nature. The things that are not working, the things that you leave behind, are the comforts that you seek when you make a move. Whether you just, you leave one shitty relationship and you just jump into another shitty relationship. You jump into the same kind of relationship because it's familiar. It is what's familiar to the ego. The ego will always seek out. The ego will seek out comfort. It'll seek out trying to make you feel safe. It'll seek out all of those things. So it will seek out familiar. And that's where that sense of the unhealed, the survival instincts of the surviving past traumas, all the stories that are still alive in our head, you will be in repeat. And we're in repeat till we finally break that cycle and just say, okay, I have to do things differently now. I have to see things differently. And so it's the beginning right now. And I've been saying this for a few months. This is the beginning of a lot of people going through the beginning of an awakening. And even if you're a healer, like going through the beginning of a new level of awakening. Finally, life is starting to, veils of illusions are starting to fall down. Everything that you've tried to build up on, the weak foundations are falling. The illusions around the mask that we've been wearing, the facades, all of the secrets, everything is being revealed. and everything is coming out. And this has like been ongoing for a few months, well, for a few years, but this has been like this has been circling through since the Heaven's Gate energy opened. And so if you've been experiencing this and witnessing this, and it's like, what is wrong with me? What's going on? Why am I seeing all this? Why is all this happening now? It's because, you know, if everybody presented their truest self in a relationship or when we meet people, if you first have the courage to present your good, bad, and your ugly in the beginning of any relationship, in any job or anything, and say, this is it. And even though we always hear people say, this is it, this is as good as you get, this is what you get, that is still that sense of shadow. So we just have a lot of that falling away right now. It's like my London Bridge stories, right? It's just like there's just this old energy. So it feels raw, but we often seek comfort, and we often seek comfort by complaining, by being trying to run back to something, by trying to get ourself back into comfort, because the hard stuff is the stuff that we avoid. The hard stuff is the stuff that says, I have to look in the mirror at myself. I have to look at my own reflection, but I also have to get into my own emotions. Like I have to not to be afraid to face my own emotions, to walk through that emotion. And that energy has been ongoing now for a while. And we say when this Heaven's Gate energy opened up a few months ago, it means it opened up there's a portal energy opening up, and beautiful things comes in, but also so does the illusion, so does the false light, right? So that which appears real. So we have a lot of that imitation light, and that's where the confusion comes in, because it appears to be good for you, appears to be. It's like somebody that works their way into your life, like they worm their way in some ways, and their intentions were never ever really good. And so, and then they start telling you little things about, so and so said this about you, this happened, that happened, oh, everybody turns against me, nobody likes me, blah blah blah. And so you start to feel sorry for them. They become they become a victim, and then you try to nurture the victim. They know how to play the game, and then this weaves into our lives. So this kind of energy is out there and it is alive, but being able to recognize it, when we can see in ourselves when we're not acting like ourselves, when we're out of character, when we find ourselves trying to place ourselves places we should have no business in being, all of those things, that's when you have to stop and look like, who is this? Who am I being today? Who am I becoming today? That energy is everywhere. So the everyday miracle is, she is really learning her powers of saying yes and no, and also learning just like what's happening out there, what's happening around us. Yes, you can listen to all the stories about how, if this happens, then everything is going to fall apart. If that happens, then everything is going to fall apart. Like it's like we can be a victim to that, or we can stay on the faith train. It's like, yes, things may not be the best. It may not be the best circumstances. Things may not be great, but everything is temporary. So there is some temporary energy, and sometimes that temporary energy stays around longer than other energies. And so, but everything moves. Some things temporary in the universe could be like billion years, but time doesn't matter the same way. And so, yeah, so we do have that screwy energy, Wendy. It is screwy energy. And of course, if you've been in my recent programs, then you would have gone through an activation yesterday. You would have gone through like this initiation, this ascension process type of thing, right? Like you would have been going through a whole process. So you'd be feeling that today. All right, let's feel out the rest of the energy. And of course, I just want to say, I'm pretty sure I've been put back into shadow banning again. I don't know what I did or what I wrote or what I did, what was coming up, but I've been in the shadow ban for a while, but that's okay. That's okay. We will find our way again. And so the creator of worlds is our second card, and this is the alchemist. And so the alchemy of life and the magic of life is to be able to turn this into that, is that we can take what was once, we can utilize our experiences in life. So this is a good energy and a good time to be able to utilize old energy, old experiences, and to use the, use the wisdom of it, use the knowledge you gained, use what you gained from those experiences to be able to create something new, to do something different than you would have done it, to be able to expand it, right? So there's just this expansion over here. And so this enchanted alchemist is like, she recognizes here's a tree trunk, and it could be just a tree trunk, or she can turn it into something new. She's turned it into her pulpit. She's turned it into the place of where she would write. Now she's using a booklet. The paper may be of the tree that was cut down, right? Everything has a why. Everything repurposes, right? So finding a new purpose in life. So the energy that's coming up, the 5 elements. Yes, Lisa. And so the and so the energy, what we have is about finding a new purpose. Sometimes we're so busy trying to chase the world, or chase things, or chase down things we don't realize that is the ego's desire, and that is ultimately chasing down creating a life for our shadow self, right? But our true divine destiny is within us, and we don't find it by chasing it the same way. Not that we don't do the work, but we don't find it by chasing it. We don't find it by looking into somebody else's life and allowing ourselves to be guided by desperation. We find it by allowing ourselves to be silent, to sit with ourselves, to get to know ourselves, to even to figure out what you even like. What do you like? What do I not like? How many things have I said that I love and like, that I liked like 20 years ago, and I maybe don't even like it now? I don't want to freaking do it no more. And so these are energies that are present around you. Hello, Stacy and Felicia and Candace and Teresa and Lorene. Hello, hello, hello. And Wendy, I just spoke to Wendy. And so these are all energies that we have around us everywhere. So Wendy, I'm actually going to pull you a card. I hope you're still here, because your energy is screwy. You said so. If you got screwy energy, I'm actually going to pull a card for you, Wendy. And this card may resonate with everyone as well, but I'm going to change decks for you. I'm telling you, coming into this energy, like, it's so, like, tonight, I'm like, I had all this energy to come in, and the minute I got in here, I'm like, phew, I can barely even speak. One thing I've not been able to do is breathe. And I always tell myself I don't really have asthma, but I have a lung that operates on like 70% capacity. But I'm fine. But the energy, it's heavy. There is a heaviness. I can feel the heaviness. And I'm going to go to that heaviness in a moment. But I want to talk about the other little things that are coming up. Wendy, are you still here, Wendy? Trying to see if Wendy is still here. And to everyone who's watching and doesn't comment, I do pick up the energy. And so when I'm reading the general cards, and if you're sitting back going, oh my God, that sounds like what's happening in my world, then I'm also picking up the energy of everyone out there. And so I see all these little numbers coming up on the top. So welcome to all of you who come in, you listen. And I have to mention it because people tell me this all the time. They always say, you know what? I watch your lives all the time. I just don't, I'm like one of those backbenchers. I just sit back and I listen, but I don't ever comment. And I'm like, I'm still so thankful. I'm thankful for everyone who watches, everyone who shares these out, everyone who gives stars, no matter what it is. I'm just thankful to have the support. So thank you. All right. Oh my God. Wendy is not here. All right. I guess Wendy's not going to get her card. All right. I'm going to give Stacy Churchill a card because I think Stacy was supposed to be in here once before. Are you watching from the hot tub, Kathy? Yay. Well, I'm glad to be hanging out at your hot tub. Your game? Okay, Lisa, you stay there. I'm going to go. I'll go with Stacy first if she's still here. Let's see if Stacy's still here. Yeah, okay. All right, Stacy, I am going with the fairy forest for you, and then I'll go with Lisa Richard. Oh, you have the Unseelie Queen. This Unseelie Queen, and she's such a beautiful card. And she's got like that iridescent look and then that flaming hair. She ties into our sacral energy. But she also ties into glamour and opalescence. And she's just kind of got this, like this, I want to say transparent. And so sometimes the most beautiful things that we can do is to be transparent, is to be able to be honest with ourselves, to be able to reveal all of ourselves to ourselves. Now she looks a little vampire-y to me, right? She has that kind of look, like her mouth is only open a little bit. You don't really know who and what she is. She could kind of be a she could be that kind of vampire energy. So sometimes we don't realize what we're doing to ourselves is that we're not really truly allowing ourselves to be fully like emptied and then fully filled back up. And so, Stacy, what you're being told, what I'm getting for here is that there is such, there's such a beautiful rawness that comes into allowing ourselves to be fully transparent, to not to feel like we have to wear the mask, to not to hide. She doesn't hide. She is who she is. She is what she is. She doesn't, there's nothing in hiding. And so there's something so beautiful about letting ourselves be all of who we are. You have to really truly start to look at this in a way of saying, I am, in my true, authentic honesty to myself. What do I need? What do I need to allow myself to fully embody and my own beautiful self? You're so busy being beautiful for the world, and you're not always being kind and beautiful to yourself. That makes total sense to you? Good. Because you need this time to start to see that, it's like precious gems, right? You have to polish them up. And so this is truly a time for you to, and I'm going to validate this with a second card because she's wearing red. So she's got red lips and she's got red earrings. And this red ties into our root. And so sometimes we don't see ourselves as women, we see ourselves as workhorses. And we just keep trying to keep being available, doing the work, but we don't take the time to let ourselves embody that womanness and that womanliness of you. You need time to be a girl. You need time to get dressed up. You need time to just let yourself like be free and let yourself be charged up with a lot of extra love and a lot of extra care. Whoa. That was a lot of cards on the floor. Hold on. And I just keep hearing Stacy. Sometimes it's about you. And I just keep hearing, it's time to make it about you a little bit. It's okay to make it about you. Watch, you got Dizzy going down there. Stillness, pause. This is Isa, and this is stillness, pause, and I can't see the other word. Delicacy. Being gentle with yourself, kindness, pause, the rest. You're sucking the life out of what you don't have. It's like you're running on an empty tank, and you need to take the time to fill up. This is you. You need this pause, this rest, to be kind to yourself, and it's kind of being called up and out, like you need to do this now. And it's not just try, it is make it happen. You have to make it happen, Stacy. So make time, make it happen, because that is, that's a part of our glamour, a part of our shine. And so you get so rooted in the stories that I have to be a workhorse and I have to do this and I have to do that. But you also have to care for you. And so your whole womanliness needs that extra love right now. Stop sucking the life out of yourself. You don't have that extra to give right now. You only got so much to give. So thank you. Lisa. Good. I think that's a little bit of a lecture to you, Stacy. There's your kick in the ass. That's your kick in the ass that you get. It's been a while since I've given you a kick in the ass. There you go. All right. Lisa Richard. Let's see what the Fae has to say to Lisa. Just a little lecture. Yeah, it's just a little one today. All right. Oh, Lisa, you got the trickster. Deceit, betrayal. Ooh. And go and go. Okay. So her eyes are looking over. So does it mean she's the trickster, or does it mean that she's being aware of the trickster energy? And so the trickster energy is exactly the energy we were talking about when I first came in here, when I talked about the imposter light. Like being, when somebody puts doubt in our heads, right? Like somebody says to us, oh, are you sure about that? Are you sure you should be doing that? Or, oh, no, it's okay. Even though, they need your help, but it's okay. I don't really need you. Like, I don't know. It just feels like this is something, that maybe that the world kind of does this to us in a way. It gets us to trick ourselves into doing things and telling us that we're motivated by it, or it's things that we really feel like we need to go out and do. But yet, who's telling us? We have to ask ourselves sometimes, who is telling us? What part of myself is telling me that I need to do this, that I need to go there, that I need to be a part of that? And to be sure on who you are, who is speaking to you. It is so easy to be tricked and fooled by the sweetness of the imposter voice, of the, oh, come on, right? And so by the shadows, by the essence. And I just feel like it's like, I'm second guessing this, or I'm going to look at this deeper. I'm going to be absolutely sure of this. It's the same thing as the thought that gets in our head sometimes, say, oh, I need one more certificate. I need one more thing. I need to do one more thing. If I only had this, if I only had that. It's the same type of voice. And sometimes it's coming from us. Sometimes it's coming from behind. Other times it's coming directly from in front of us. Sometimes it's the whole outside world, and we're watching the world move, and we're watching people doing things in the world, and we're watching people go. But the problem is we're watching. And when we're watching when we're letting our eyes see, our eyes is connecting to memories, it's connecting to emotions, and then we're responding from an old story. Sometimes we got to close our eyes. Sometimes we got to close our eyes and open our eye. And when we close our eyes and we open our eye, we're able to see what is true. What is the true light? What is it that I truly need to be doing? And so this trickster may not actually be her, but it may be something else that is happening around. And she's probably got all of these flowers and stuff on her head because all the beauty, all the things are growing out, and something may be behind her, a past or something that may take her into losing herself again. If she's all ready to go. It's just like you're all ready to go. When you're all ready to go out somewhere and then someone says, "Oh, are you sure you should wear that? Mm, maybe you should look at that again." That kind of trickster energy. And I'm like, interesting. But it's an interesting card. And it's not, and I just feel like it's either within us or it's around us. Making a leap into the public more and feeling my old fear surfacing, yet aware it's shadow wanting me to stay in the comfort zone. Also trying to stick my toe into Tony's work to be done. Ah, yes, 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 yes. Well, there you go, Lisa. Right? Doesn't that just make total sense? All right. So, Spirit is watching, your guides are watching, and you called your own self up and out on that one. And the Fae are watching, and to to be a to have been trained in Fey shamanism, right? So to be trained in Fey shamanism, we definitely know that Fey, how trickster the Fey can be, right? And so interference energy, right? It's like, and it's guilt, exactly. And so we can guilt ourselves into anything. We can shame ourselves. We can do all of this, and so, and so in Fey shamanism work, it's literally knowing that you know if we piss off the Fae, if we piss off that middle world, it has ego, right? And it's able to speak to us. Wendy, where were you? Thank you. Glad you like my pink glasses, but where were you? I was calling you for a card. These are my dollar store glasses. Um, I'm like that Bethany Frankel who does all the Instagram things. I love the dollar store, and I'm always at the dollar store. And so these are dollar store glasses. um, and so yeah, and so the Fae has ego, and the Fae knows how that works, and the Fae energy just says, "I know how to be that mirror. I know how to be that mirror for you." And so it's mirroring something, right? There's a mirror coming in there. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad that really resonates with you. And there's your kick in the ass. Wendy, are you sure you want a card? They're coming out as a little bit of kick in the ass cards tonight. So if you need a little bit of a kick in the butt, you can still have your card, Wendy. Yes. I'm going to choose you. I'll do your card next because I did call Wendy first. I called Wendy first, and she was on YouTube first, and now she's here on Facebook. So I guess we came in tonight for some little kick in the butt energy. Don't be fooled by this bullshit energy that's out there, because there's a heaviness to it. It's trying to get us to run away. It's trying to get us to go back to comfort. We're here to keep moving forward. Apparently you need that. Okay, Wendy, let's see what they got for you today. What does Wendy need to know about connecting into the Fae, into the magic of the Fae, into that beautiful middle world? What do we have for Wendy? Oh, you got the Green Witch. Well, probably not going to get your ass kicked that much, no. Fresh, new, spring, and it's a 7. So perspectives. So the Green Witch, putting our feet on the ground, our bare feet on the ground, put your hands in the dirt. This is a time where things are new, but yet for some reason you keep bringing the old. You want to drag everyone and everything in. It is like not picking the weeds out of the garden. You can go in and you can plant all you want. It's like trying to repurpose. It's like trying to repurpose the ground that was so full of old weeds and so full of stuff, and you didn't want to clear it out. And so you keep trying to plant in it, but then you spend the rest of the summer so busy plucking the weeds when if you had to clear the weeds in the beginning, you could have embraced and enjoyed what was new. The new seeds could grow. So there is things that you're being told that eyes wide open, here's a 7, perspective. Everything, how's it this statement goes? And this is a statement I've heard time and time again. So if you see things from in the valley, it'll be the truth that you see. If you see things from midway up the hill and you look around, you'll see another new truth. It'll be still a truth, but it'll be the only truths that you know, what you can see, what you can perceive. When you get to the top and you climb up to the top of the mountain, well, there's a whole lot of new truths. You can see what you thought was the only truth at the bottom, you can see from a new perspective. What you've seen halfways up, that was only part of the truth. Now you can see even more truth. At the top, you can see the past, you can see there is something else over here. So there's a whole bunch of new truths, new perspectives. It just depends on what we stand on, what belief we keep telling ourselves, what we keep holding on to, and the weeds we refuse to let go. Because when new comes, if we keep bringing the old, we can't get to the new. And then it feels crazy. It feels wild. It feels like everything is out of control. And it's because we're trying to hold it tight. We're trying to hold on to it. So here we are. You're in fresh new energy, but it's unfamiliar. It's foreign to you. You haven't been here before. You haven't been in this moment right here. That's not where you've been. I'm working my way to the top. Well, when you get to that top, right, you're going to see some new perspectives, some new ways. But this is telling you you're already here, right? You're already here. You're not stopping to look around. You're still trying to climb because there is parts of those stories that you want to bring in. And so what they're telling you is that you can't see yourself as there, but yet you're there. And so there's a lot of newness and freshness and ways to be able to start to see yourself and your life and what's unfolding in your life, right? And new beginnings, being able to relax more, being able to sit back more, being able to be more at peace. Those type of things may be the things that may be new to you. It may be things that you keep returning to a worry, you keep returning to a stress, you keep putting yourself into somebody else's things, right? We can't, what somebody else is going to choose to do, or whatever somebody else choose to plant in their gardens is going to be their gardens. But whatever you choose to put your hands in, to put your feet in, to step into, you get the choice to choose. And I just feel like for you, it's that see things as fresh and new. See things as fresh and new and stop using this phrase, I know. If I knew, I'd have it figured out, right? I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder what there is for me to learn, because now I'm hearing it fresh for the first time from these ears. Now I'm hearing it, now I'm seeing it with different eyes. I'm hearing it with different ears. This is fresh for me. I'm curious. I might have heard it 1,000 times, but not this version of me heard it 1,000 times. So now that I'm hearing it, and now that I'm hearing it, how do I want to see it? How do I want to feel it? How do I want to connect to this? What is there for me to learn from this? So become very curious. And so a new thing for you is to stop thinking that we've got to have it figured out or that we know it. We got a solution for everybody. Say, I don't have a freaking solution. I got no solution. I don't know what you can do. I don't know. I'm just planting new seeds myself. I don't know. But I'm going to go find out. I'm going to go find ways. I'm going to keep moving forward. That's what you have to do. I'm seeing myself in the new beginnings. I have to get rid of the weeds. Yeah, they choke out the good stuff. Cutting ties. So I actually heard a good one. So Corrie was reading the book. It's about how, in our native culture, it is in the U.S., and about they found oil, and how the oil was of course robbed from them, taken. And so, but they speak about the moon, and they speak about the full moon in May. And they said, and so the elders speak about all of the beautiful little flowers, that the little wildflowers. Wendy, this will make sense. It speaks of all the little wildflowers that come in the beginning of spring, and they're so beautiful and they're so colorful. And then when the full moon comes in May, when May transitions and it starts to get into June, before it goes into June type of thing, like, so those flowers probably start coming in April, and then into May, the bigger weeds start to grow, the bigger flowers, and those bigger things that grow in the wild, they overshadow those beautiful little flowers, and all the little flowers die. So it kills off all of those beautiful flowers, because all of these great big weeds that are taller and bigger come in, and they overshadow this beautiful field of beautiful flowers. And it's always happening, right? And so when we decide to no longer let the bigger weeds, the things that are out of our control, so some things are too big for us to fix. And if we just surrender it over and we just say, this is too big for me. I give it to you, God, creator, source, angels, guides. I don't care what you give it to. I give this to you. It is too big for me to solve, to heal, to fix. I have invested so much into it, and I know that it is not for me, but I give it to you, and if it's meant to be, you can. So that it doesn't take away those flowers. But there you go. Right? And so the big weeds don't come in and overshadow. That's what we got. So that's your card. So I hope that helps you in somehow, in some way. All right. I was only going to come in and do some energy stuff, but I feel the need. The camera's gone blurry. Tap, tap. Who's here? I know which way I'm going. Good. Good, good, good. I'm glad that makes sense to you. Thank you, Candace. Kathy, are you still here? Kathy Christensen. Are you still sitting in your hot tub? Still listening? Still watching? You're welcome. Let's just see if Kathy is still here. And if anyone see this spot on my head, like 30 years of being a hairstylist, and for the first time ever, I burnt my head the other day with my curling brush. Yes. Okay, Kathy. I'm going 20. The number is 22. Two twos. All right, Kathy. We might as well stick to the face for you. Michelle, oh no. I just seen a comment that's not on here. But I don't see it on here. It's weird. You have 11s on your forehead? So do I. Okay, Kathy. Oh, Kathy, you got Salu. Salu, and Salu speaks of vitality, health, and energy. And so she is a radiant card. And so see the dragonflies that's behind her and her, the leafy kind of dress. So she's got that orange and yellow, but she's also got those veins of coming up through her dress. And so the veins have that silvery, sparkly, and then we have the blue here. So there is this sense of sometimes, in our health and our well-being, we're trying to use our human vitality, our physical strength, our physical self. But this is calling on spirit and being able to call on your own spirit, to be able to use the lifeline of our spirit. And so there is a beautiful transformation. And I feel like you're coming into another stage or another journey of like a beautiful, transforming energy within your life. And so it's a 27, which is also a 9. So we're in the 2s. We're talking about 1s. Then that would bring us into the power of 3s, right? And so that mind, body, soul connection. But this is, I want to say that I'm really feeling the essence of Archangel Ezekiel and Archangel Metatron, like very powerful energy. But then on the other side of that, I also am getting Archangel Uriel. And I feel like there's just this like um this this powerful angelic force that is working with the fey realm, as if to say, they're working inside and outside of you. So there's like inner work that is happening, and then there's outer work. And so this outer work is working on the energy, the energy around you, your energy force field, right? And so that's in the ether. So that is the space that we occupy, that we don't realize we occupy. So sometimes we forget about clearing the space, or making space for you, or just making space for the divine to come in. So you have to start asking for divine assistance, divine guidance. You are forgetting that this angelic realm is here for you. And I keep getting like this like piercing, like pulsating energy coming up through the soles of my feet. So I feel like this is really grounding you into like earth type of work, the earth star. So the earth star that we have, this star chakra energy is like 2 feet below the ground. It is more the earthy kind of connection, but it is very much a powerful energy force. And I just feel like it's coming up through and in through the body. And then through the back, I'm feeling like between the shoulder blades. So this is like a healing for you. Between the shoulder blades, I'm feeling that angelic connection, and I'm seeing like our silver plat. So we have our lifeline, that is our energetic connection cord that connects us. And as much as we try to stretch and pull, and that we can conquer the world, we're always overextending ourselves, and then we get bounced back and pulled back, and we don't get to break that line. We don't get to break away from our divine, and we don't get to break away from spirit. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and that this is now really truly like a call, like a wake up call, a realization that the divine is here to work on your behalf, and to work for you, to help you, to guide you, to bring in more information for you. But a part of transformation, which brings us into the geometry of life, is, if you can see like that, the uh like the flower of life, like each petals that open, well, that's our energy centers, right? So I just feel like there's like, you've probably worked on this physical body, and you've been working on this level, but there is a back door, and there's a back energy, and there's energy centers that are back here. There's energy centers up here, there's energy centers down here, and then there's the aura, and then there's the ether, and then there's the cosmos, and there's all of this space. And I just feel like there is more space for you to occupy, and more space for you to be aware of, and to be aware of all of this energy. But I just feel like you're being locked in, rooted and grounded, as if they're like putting you in this cosmic capsule, and just saying, you're going to sit still, and we're going to do the things that you need done. And they're locking you in. And I just feel like you're locked in into like this divine healing, divine awareness, like awakening, opening new parts of yourself. And I just feel like this is going to be an unfolding for you. I'm like, this is going to be following you through into the next few months. I'm like, I feel like this is a whole summer journey for you, but it is a time of great transformation for you. And I'm excited to see how this is going to unfold for you, because I feel like there's some big changes coming for you, Kathy. And I don't know how they'll all look, but I'm just like, they're grinning, they're smiling at you, and I feel like you're being prepared for something, and strengthened for something. But there is beautiful changes coming in, and I just feel like you're going to be pushed. Once they're done with you, they're just going to push you out, like you can fly. And it's like learning how to fly, and you're just going to be able to fly. So I'm like, and I don't know exactly what that is that's coming, and I hear a chuckle, and that always cracks me up. And so there's always just something that just comes in at the right time. I have that same feeling of the energy work. I have been working the garden, and have been dealing with vertigo for 4 months. I believe the vertigo is a part of the back energy. This really elates me. Oh, this real elates me. Thank you. I feel it. Good. Yeah, because I'm like, they're putting you in a healing capsule. And I just see you being locked in. And I work in trance healing. I'm a trance healer. And so I work in trance work, and I take people on these trance journeys, right? And so communicate and connect to the healers and the council and all of those things. And that's what it feels like we're doing right now. I feel like that's what we're strongly connecting to, and I feel like there's such a strong connection to that right now. And I can feel you're like being plugged into it. So they're plugging you, go about your day, you do whatever, but they, spirit to spirit, they know what you need. And it's like there's a tune up that's happening. There is being elevated, being prepared, and just allow it to happen. So yay, I'm excited for you. Actually, I'm very excited for you. So I hope this helps, and I hope this, not hopes, I know this is going to do something to be able to just kind of bring what is needed for the help that you need. Sometimes it's not what the humans can do, it's what can happen for us on our behalf. Remember when I first came in, I don't know if you were here, I spoke about miracles. Everyday miracles happens when we just say yes sometimes, right? So saying yes, I'm available, I'm ready, plug me in, help me out, do what you need to do. That's what they're doing. You are so welcome. You are so, so welcome. Thank you. Hello, everyone else who is joining us that has been here with us. All right. I want to go one more. And I don't know if she's still here either. Courtney. Courtney was on YouTube. Courtney, are you still here? Hey, everyone. Lisa. Would you like a card, Lisa? Lisa Star Francis, this is that I'm talking to. Well, I'm waiting to see if Courtney's still here. If Courtney's still here, then it'll be two. But I'm going to give Lisa Star Francis one because she's my little, yes, please, because she's my little alien friend. She is she very much has some fairy energy going on. All right. Okay, Lisa. Here you go. I hear some buzzing happening. Oh, you got Ragnarok. She is destruction, endings, final moment. She's a lot of intensity, a lot of fire. And she is one of my favorite cards in the deck. She comes with purpose, and she comes on purpose. And I'm like, there is a lot of bullshit coming to an end, and a lot of things. And I'm just like, I feel like her stare, she could just, like, she's intense. She could just burn down the world, but she don't intentionally burn down the world, right? It's like there is a reason. When pushed too far, when things stretch so far, everything will break, right? When we push things too far, when we take things, when things are taken too far. And I feel like this is mastering. I feel like this is a whole level of mastering energy. And what I'm getting is, I'm getting this. I told you I heard a buzzing. I could hear this buzzing. Like I could hear this, like something is coming through the airwaves. Something is coming in from the ethers. Something bigger than us is unfolding. But there got to be an ending in order for there to be new beginnings. And I feel like it's the end. So I feel like it's the end of some of the great pain stories, some of the great emotional struggles, some of the things that have been kind of restricting, holding back, some of the things that just feel like you've just like pushed and pulled to that final extension. And I want to go to the book for a moment because I just feel like there's a cycle that's ending, but I love the last statement, and I've always underlined this on this card because I love this card. And so howl, and so let go, friend, and see and cease your quiet suffering. Howl, lift the sky with your cries of pain, but then sleep. And know you will return with a spirit daring, strong, and reborn. So this is really truly that last minute. I just feel like it's like, have you ever read The Alchemist? Like I've read it like 5 times and it's never the same ending, right? And it's like that sense of the alchemy of life. And that was the second card I chose of my cards coming in. I feel like it's just that whole sense of, embodying our whole light body. And I just feel like when you finally come to the end of this cycle and it's happening for you, through you, it's just happening. It is just happening. I just feel like it's the end of that suffering, that struggle, and something is just new growth, new beginnings, but it is a reborn. It's a rebirth that is taking place. And it's all about you and it's all around you. But as this happens to you, as this is happening somehow in the world, we're going, seeing those major shifts, seeing those major changes. And it's like there's just something that is just like buzzing through, and it hasn't fully all unfolded, but it's like you got to let out that maximum, just like that scream, break shit, just take out whatever old plates or whatever and just break break shit up, scream. Like you have to let this, has been a trapped energy, and I just feel like it's been hosting off of you or feeding off of you for a long time, and now it's time to just like let it be burned away. And I just feel like it's just being burned away from you. It's just like, and like I say, the fae have ego. They have no problem just saying to something that needs to be squished like a freaking bug, and just saying it is now done. This is enough. It is not happening. And I feel like this is kind of like you getting a big ass kicking in a way, and so, and in the right direction, but it's going to really truly change your directions, projecting you forward. But you're reborn to you. There's a new sense of you, Lisa, coming in. And for you to be able to embark in that, take that journey, not be afraid of the unknown, not be trying to know it all, not to have to know the answers. You won't know the answers, but you have been already creating this, you've been working with this, but it's like the final bits got to just kind of be done. And it's like this is an ending so that it can be reborn. But this is a total, you mean you are the word alchemist, are you not? And so this is a whole nother level of alchemy. And I'm just like, oh, in the word challenge, I'm cleaning every word, sense it, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I feel like when you get through this, when you're done with this, I'm like, this is like, it's coming to a full end of a cycle. And the rebirth journey of this is going to be spectacular. And just trust that. So, like I said, it's one of my favorite cards in a deck. It's those endings and new beginnings. It just excites me. And so there's something exciting about this for you. So, yeah. Phew. I'm like firing up inside. I'm like, ah. I'm like, I feel like I want to be Superwoman again. Ah. Natasha, as soon as you said you hear buzzing, my infrared heater start to buzz. That was kind of freaky. I'm telling you, there's a lot of power. And this energy, I would say, when there's this kind of powerful energy, it's not to be wasted. It may be challenging, but it is powerful freaking energy. It's not to sit back and just say, screw this. It is to be truly like raw. It is a raw energy. And so and with raw, we got raw, like we're raw, but raw, like a primal instinct. Like there is primal to this. And this is our primal divine energy, primal female energy. I got the buzzes back and I can hear it buzzing. So yeah, you are so, so welcome. And I feel like even for myself, it's been a long time since I've been even in my own kick-ass energy, like my real kick-ass energy. And it's been a long time that I've been sitting back and just not being able to fully feel that being charged up. And I just feel like there is something of a shift coming and happening. I'm like, it's time to walk again. It's time to get moving. So yeah. So thank you. And I hope that helps. So, whew, I'm on fire. My whole body is on fire. Michelle, yes. Okay, I'm going to go back to these babies, back to the everyday goddess. And I just want to tell you something. So, you know how this was the booklet for the everyday goddesses? Well, the everyday goddess booklet is now going to be a big book. We have decided that this little book is just not big enough. So it's going to be a bigger booklet. I know, changing again. Good. Thanks, Lisa. I love my dollar store pink glasses too. They got like little ear things on them. You know who picked these out? Sadie, actually. My granddaughter picked these out. She says, Here, Nana, me and you like pink. Me and you like pink, and we like purple. So, okay, so this is the last card, and this is a general card again, back. So the first two cards we pulled was the 44, 45, 44. She is Everyday Miracle. And then I pulled the Alchemist, the Enchanted Alchemist. And so let's pull one last card as the collective energy. And we got Willow. We got the Guardian. And our guardians and this beautiful Willow, she may appear youthful and gentle, but she is powerful. You ever look at, you like the trees, and we see the trees in there, you know, the power of the tree to be able to withstand. And the guardians to myself, like the guardians to this earth are that tree energy. And the guardians are with us all the time. Our guardians walk with us. And we always have our guardian angels. Our guardians we're born with them. And it's so funny how, you know, we forget. We think we're so big and mighty and we can do things on our own. And I don't need to ask for help. But yet, here's these guardians that are bigger, bolder, more powerful. And they're saying, you don't have to be that aggressive. You don't have to be that kind of energy. You could ask us to be that. You can ask us to be your strength. You can ask us to be the courage. You can ask us to plug into you. You can ask us to give you the strength, give you the courage. You can ask us to move things for you. You can ask us to surround things. You can ask us to wrap you in love, but you don't always ask. And so there is just such a powerful force and a powerful energy. And those guardians and those trees of the earth, they lock their roots together. And if we would just lock our roots together, if we would just come together as humans, as people, and no matter what kind of tree we are, it don't matter what kind of tree they are, they can intertwine, they can exist together, they can live together, and they can be rooted and grounded and keep things strong. And you know, yes, they may lose some casualties to the wind and to the storms, but yet they can stay standing for a long time. They grow up, they grow out. And we're here to grow up and grow out. We're here to expand our stories. We're here to expand and heal the stories of the past. We're not here to keep healing and to keep doing. We're here to become whole again. And once we become whole, we can be like a balloon. We can just keep putting air into it. We can just keep making space. We can just keep getting bigger and expanding out and learning more. And we can just keep evolving and shedding layers and evolving some more and growing some more. There's always something to learn. There's always something about ourselves to discover. But the biggest thing, and I spoke about this in the very beginning, we're here to evolve that ego from surviving and fight or flight into, you know, the need to have to be validated and, you know, loved and appreciated by everybody, and to be able to set ourselves free of all of that and to make our way around the sun again and back into a healthier version of ourselves. And I just finished teaching the dragon course, and that's one of the biggest takeaways is that sense of reborn, is to make our way back into knowing that our ego and that part of our ego is here to actually help serve us. Our gifts are here to serve us. Our gifts are not here to serve the world first. They're here for us first. And I took a big step back for a long period of time and let my own gifts work for me and do the bigger healing on myself, like those big things, like to not be afraid to ask big bold questions and to ask big bold things of myself and to ask for big bold healings and miracles and things to unfold. And when we do that, the big and bold appears, the ancient appears, and there's so much powerful force and spirit and guidance out there for us, and there's so much that exists in us and through us, and we are just so much more than we believe ourselves to be. And so the ego also has this healthy ego. We call it the superego. And when you allow yourself to become into that state of doing all the work, coming in through that journey and learning the power of becoming whole again, it's that we awaken the sense of divinity within ourselves and the sense of divine self. And it's a beautiful experience and it's a beautiful beginning. And we're gone blurry. And so it always gives us that opportunity, whoa, to be able to really sorry guys, it's just gone so blurry. It's like, and no, that's energy happening. And so here we are, we're in this big, powerful energy. It's an opportunity for us. And it's an opportunity for let ourselves to be a little bit in the wild frenzy, a little bit to be free, a little bit to go out and put your feet in the ground, a little bit to be a little childlike, to play in that innocence. And Willow doesn't have to become, she doesn't have to appear as old and wise. She doesn't have to put a mask on and pretend she's old or pretend she's, some sort of great big thing. She can just be. And so when we can unmask and we don't think we have to create anything, we realize that there is enough within us and there's such magic within us and there's such love within us, and that we hold that powerful love. We hold that powerful divine magic within us. Imagine what we can do if we let go of the judgment, if we let go of some of that pain stories, the hurts, all of those things that hold us back. Imagine what we could be if we can operate from a stronger sense of love. That's what I got. That's all I got. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here with me. I am gone totally blurry on my end. I don't know if I am on your end, but on mine, I am. Have a beautiful night, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Don't forget to, okay, Michelle. So Michelle just reminded me, don't forget to mention your next expo if you haven't yet. Okay. So I am in Calgary. I don't know which day, but it is the Divinity Wellness Expo. And it is in Divinity Wellness Expo. It is in Calgary the weekend of January the 16th. It is a Friday. I think it's a Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday. I will be a guest speaker. I will be speaking at the expo. I will not have a booth. I will not be a vendor, but I will be speaking. I just don't know if it's the Saturday or the Sunday yet, but I will be there. I will have books, and I will be speaking about, about living a more unlimited life and about the limitations we place upon ourselves, the more than existing. But if you're in the Calgary area and you would like to meet with me, I will be speaking for about 20 minutes, but then I will get to be able to hang out for pretty much almost an hour, I think it is, that I'll be able to get to stay in the room and speak to some people, communicate. And so, yeah, if you're in the Calgary area and you go on Facebook and go to Divinity Wellness Expo, and you can go to their page or you can go to their website. You can purchase weekend tickets. And I will post when we know the exact time and day that I will be there. But I am a speaker at this wellness thing. So, yeah, June. Did I say January? June. Not January. It's June. In June the 16th, not January, June the 16th, in the next couple weeks. And what is it? 3 weekends. The third weekend, I will be there. So yeah, come see me June that weekend. If you're anywhere in the Calgary area, I'd love to meet with you. I'd love to see you. I'd love to meet with you in person. So thank you, Michelle. Much love, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.